Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of A Star is Born. I hate to admit this, but I thought might as well get it out of the way right off the bat. This is the only rendition of this specific story that I've actually seen. That's right, I've not seen the previous versions. I know they're iconic, I know, but I was going into this film with fresh eyes, having not seen the predecessors. But with rave buzz, really great looking trailers, and a really stacked cast, it's pretty hard not to get some excitement rolling heading into this film. Oscar buzz is flinging. Festivals are just roaring over this film, so I was really excited to watch A Star is Born. Add to that the extra intrigue of Bradley Cooper making his directorial debut, and yeah, this was one of my most anticipated for the fall. And for good reason. This is a very, very good film. So, let's go ahead and talk about the positives first. The acting in this film is superb. Bradley Cooper, as expected, is fantastic. I thought he was so good in this role. He breaks your heart and he swoons you. He does everything right in this movie, and it's so impressive to be acting in your first ever directorial film and do such a great job. It really was spectacular to watch. And then there's Lady Gaga, who is getting a lot of the buzz, and she deserves all of the buzz that she is getting. She has proven herself to be quite the actress over the last few years, and I think this is a great avenue for her to pursue because she is very emotive and intuitive as an actress, and she came across amazing in this film. That's just the acting, because we already knew the vocals were going to be there, and she sounds marvelous, like absolutely fantastic. As does Bradley Cooper. He holds his own in the vocal department. Of course, he's not going to be able to keep pace with Lady Gaga there, but he's more than adequate. He has a very good voice, and I was thinking if he hadn't made it as an actor, country singing might have been a great way for his career to go. And then Sam Elliott in this film was so good. I thought this was one of the best roles I've seen him in quite some time. He was fantastic in this movie. And then if you're a Drag Race fan, we get appearances from drag alumni Shangela, Hallelujah, and Willem. So that was of course fun. They were in their element, and I loved that added element to the film in general. But the music itself, not just the singing, the actual music was fantastic. I think pretty much all of the songs that I heard in this movie were really solid, really strong songs. They were catchy, you were ready to sing along, you enjoyed listening to them. So yeah, the music is just well done across the board. Even the background score was solid. And this is a pretty tight-knit story. What I really loved is we came in right before the story gets underway. We start off with Bradley Cooper the night he meets Lady Gaga's Ellie character, and I'm so glad we did that. I'm so glad we just kind of got to learn more about the characters as we went through, and we didn't start when they were young or start at the beginning of Bradley's career or see Gaga's character struggling in the clubs trying to sing or trying to make it. We didn't need any of that. And I really commend Bradley Cooper himself and the screenwriter for making the decision to just start there. Let's get into the main meat of our story because there's enough heft there to sustain this film. And whew, there is quite a lot of heft going on here. But for as emotional as this movie gets, and as deep and as sad and sorrowful as it gets, it all feels organic, and it never feels manipulative, which is greatly appreciated. It's just a good story. It's a tried and true formula, but executed to its highest possible marks. It just does everything really, really well. But that will go ahead and lead us then into the negatives within the film. So while I think Bradley Cooper overall does a really good job, and he brings a lot of sophistication actually to the direction of this film, and he directs actors so well. The flow of the film works really well for me for the most part. But every now and then you would get the scenes and the cuts and the shot choices that reminded you it is still a first-time director. Just weird choices, such as in the middle of the film we get this shot of Lady Gaga, a close in on her eyes. And actually we get a few shots of like Lady Gaga's face close in. But then we get an immediate like reaction cut to Bradley Cooper's character that is about, you know, shoulder frame. And then we cut back to Gaga's eyes. And it was just little moments like that where you're like, oh, this is a very odd cut that doesn't flow all that well and is more disruptive than anything else. And there are several of those shots actually, and several of those shot selections throughout the film that are just like randomly plumped in there that take you aback just a bit. And as I said, remind you, oh yes, he is still getting the kinks of directing. I will say I do think the second into third acts of the film do slow down quite a bit. The first act of this film is absolutely just 100% perfect, I think. It is stellar, wonderful, amazing. The second act starts off very much in that vein, and I think the third act gets back to that vein. But right there in the middle, it really kind of slows down. The character development starts to feel a little bit repetitive, and it takes a little bit of massaging to get us back to the point where we're moving somewhere. We're doing something within the narrative and within the development of the story at large. And this film really tackles a lot of heavy issues. Everything from alcoholism to child abuse to suicide and attempted suicide. It really tackles a lot of heavy issues, and I don't know that it quite sticks the landing on all of them. None of them are handled offensively or out of line, but I don't know that all of them were able to get the dedication and attention and detail that maybe they needed to really solidify the end point of each individual problem arc. But overall, this is a fantastic film. If you're into musicals, I think you're going to really enjoy this film. It's a sad musical, I will say that right now. And if you're into Lady Gaga, I think you are going to love this movie. She is on full display here. She is full force. Her voice is center stage, steals every scene it shows up in. She even gets a moment that very much reminded me of I Have Nothing from The Bodyguard, maybe even I Will Always Love You, not quite there. She has this big show-stopping love ballad, this longing love ballad that I literally in my head was kind of like, ah, oh, what I wouldn't give to hear Whitney Houston belt this out in her prime. But Lady Gaga does her best Whitney up there. When Gaga's at her best, that voice is just soaring, beautiful, wonderful. And both she and Bradley Cooper give amazing performances that I think we will be talking about all the way up into the Oscar season because they were both fantastic. So I say give A Star is Born the full price ticket. This is one you're definitely not going to want to miss, and I think it perfectly balances that prestige film making with more open, accessible, vulnerable filmmaking that a lot of people are going to be able to resonate with. So that is my review of A Star is Born. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see A Star is Born? And which is your favorite rendition of this story? Let me know either in the comment section down below, or you can hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your support. Mwah! Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!